Among all kinds of crime, a murder case is usually the most easily determined because there is a body. It's a tangible, physical crime that is considered the least complicated to establish. But what do the authorities do when there is no body? This is a story from a rural region in southern France, but it has the whole country watching the trial closely. The COVID-19 pandemic was a particularly challenging time for millions around the world. The conditions were particularly harsh for doctors and nurses who were dealing with a medical crisis. But in the midst of a global catastrophe, in the south of France, a nurse went missing. Delphine Jubillar, a mother of two, disappeared at the height of the pandemic in December 2020. 6 months later, in 2021, officials detained the husband and put him under probe. Authorities eventually built up a case against Cédric Jubillar and accused him of murdering his wife. The premise of this accusation primarily is jealousy. Prosecution alleges that the 38-year-old killed his wife in a fit of rage and that he had a motive. Investigation has revealed that the couple's marriage was in trouble. Now, Cédric had a cannabis addiction problem and he had no stable job. Delphine, on the other hand, was allegedly in a relationship with another man, and the Jubillars were talking about divorce. However, prosecutors say that the husband could not stand the thought of his wife being with someone else. There's another part to this case that rests heavily on circumstantial evidence. On the night of the young nurse's disappearance, details of Cédric's whereabouts are rather sketchy. There are other concerning details that have become part of evidence. Signs of a fight, a pair of broken eyeglasses that were found, and an eyewitness account from a neighbor who says that she heard a woman screaming on the same night. There are other witnesses who will be testifying against the accused husband, the threatening language that Cédric used with Delphine, and an alleged lack of concern after she went missing. But there are two bombshell testimonies which will also make their way to court. One is of a former cell inmate, and one of a former girlfriend. Now, both these witnesses had told police earlier that Cédric had in fact confessed to murdering Delphine and also revealed where he hid the body. But at the heart of this trial, a major question still remains unanswered. 5 years after the young nurse disappeared, where is her body? Police and even locals looked for Delphine extensively in the countryside, but her remains are nowhere to be found. With this question looming, the trial against Cédric is currently underway. It is expected to last 4 weeks, but there is an uneasiness in the air, with the victim missing and so many things that do not add up. Because if Cédric truly did murder his wife, then he appears to have committed what is called the perfect crime. No remains, no trace of a murder weapon, perfectly timed act in the middle of the night as his children lay asleep. If the Frenchman in question does confess in court, or more evidence points to the inevitable, then the only unanswered question will be of the victim's body. But in the odd chance that Cédric is falsely convicted, then 2 small children will have lost both parents in one fell swoop. And the real killer will still be out scot-free. Which way will this case swing? We will find out in 4 weeks.